Hi, everybody. This is Anthony Striglia with Striglia Enterprises. I wanted to take a moment to show how to build an advanced line graph or other chart, possibly that you can think of in the native method report builder that they attached. This report builder is actually DevExpress. They have some really good documentation. I will link that in the video description. But unfortunately, in the past, there was a bug that was not allowing Method to run this report properly, even though it was previewing properly in the report builder. So as you can see here, this is orders taken by customer service representative by month. So this is just a count of the sales orders for the past year, and you can see how that kind of ebbs and flows for each person. These are names under here. I'm going to do this for estimates and show you how it's built, and I'm going to use, for the sake of this video, the record ID of the users. Okay, so let's jump right in. So I have estimates by CSR by month. This is actually the second time I'm recording this because I had a technical issue the first time. So this is also the second time I'm building this report. So the native report builder that's built into Method, I say native probably incorrectly because it's not. It's really DevExpress, as I've said. Very, very powerful tool. I've done some very cool things in it. Unlocking this newfound knowledge of these advanced reports is going to give us even more capabilities. So really cool stuff. You can make this display on screen, or you can make this print out as a PDF or even an Excel, whatever the preference of the customer is. So the first thing I'm going to do is add a report footer band. I only need one of these bands for the chart. Otherwise, the chart will repeat for every record in the detail band. And it's funny, actually, if you look at the documentation of the DevExpress chart building section, they do say that if you omit a certain, I will show you what it is, but if you omit it, a certain field, it will actually not repeat for the every record, but that does not seem to be the case for me. So I like to make these landscape. I like to kill my margins when I'm doing a chart like this because I'm just trying to get the literal picture of the report. So I'm just going to do this. Okay, so let's do this. So I dragged this chart object into the report footer, made the report footer kind of fill the whole thing. You can go through and make this even more proper. If you come in here, you make, the detail band 0. Okay, 2 is the smallest. You can make the top margin 0. Okay, 2 is the smallest. The bottom margin, I just dragged them with my mouse. And then we also have the, I believe, left and right margins, which are arguments on the report. Oops, report footer. We need the report. And margins, here's our left and right. So we can make those 0 and 0. Okay, so there we go. Chart object, dragged it into the report footer. And then I'm going to run this chart designer. Okay, so this is the field that they say to omit. If you omit it, it won't repeat, but it still does. So I've just been putting the chart on a report footer, and it's working. So data member, estimate, series. So this is each line that you're going to have. So for the purpose of this video, we're going to use assign to record ID. So we have numbers instead of, again, data, names. We don't want to show names. Series template. Okay, so basically, this series template is how the chart builder knows what to do and use for your chart. The series data member, this is what's going to create the legend. So series 1, series 2, series 3. So if you have 10 users and you have assigned to record ID, it's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in your legend. And then there's going to be 10 lines on the graph for what we're doing. Play with this. There's so much stuff you can do. I'm going to change this to line. And then the argument data member, since this is going to be a count, it doesn't really matter what we put here. I'm going to grab the record ID because I know that there's not going to be any blanks or anything in there. I also don't know if it matters if it's blank. It should still count it. Okay, then we're going to jump in here and we are going to change this aggregate function from default to count. This right here is the most important change that you have to make on these reports. This is going to be how the data is aggregated and then displayed. If you don't do this, you get some really crazy stuff with this chart builder. Maybe stuff that some people might want sometime, but that's how we do that. I'm going to turn off the labels because when you have a bunch of lines on here and labels and they overlap and it doesn't look that pretty. Also, this scale is only going to be like 1 to 100 anyway, so you'll kind of be able to get an idea of where that is. Okay, so we have line, we have count, that's important. The value, I'm sorry, this is going to be the month, year. The value is going to be the record ID. Oh, by the way, typing doesn't work in here for some reason. Another little bug. Record ID. So in order to do what I showed in the beginning where it's month, year, I actually have to create that field. So what I'm going to do is come in here to the estimate and I'm going to create a calculated field. And that's going to be called, we'll just do month, year, even though I think it's actually month, year. But it's going to go down to M's and then we will do concat. That's not right. Concat. And we're going to do toString. I've done this once or twice, so I have this pretty much memorized. How to get the month, year. And some of this stuff takes some trial and error. Get, sorry, toString, get month, transaction date, followed by a slash, followed by a toString, get year, transaction date. Okay. So that's going to be our argument data member on the x-axis. So now I can pull that in here. Again, you cannot type in these fields for some fun reason. Okay, sorry about that. I had to stop my dog from eating cat food. Month, year. Okay. Again, view, count, count of record ID. Wait, argument. Oh, come on. I'm screwing this up royally. Assigned to record ID. Nope. Assigned to record ID. MMYY. There we go. Aggregate function count. Okay. So that's the chart, I believe. I'd still like to turn these labels off. So label visibility false. And then that's that. So now we have this. So let me save this. Okay, now in my sandbox, I'm going to create the function that runs this, and we'll just display it on the screen to test, and then or I'm sorry, we'll just display it on the new tab as a PDF to test, and then I'll show you how to actually get that on the screen. There might be a better way to do it than how I do it, but I do it the way I do it, I guess. I don't know. If someone can think of a better way, please let me know. So the first thing I want to do when I run this is do a add year and to the current time and date because I don't want this for the whole history of the whole tenant. I just want um, 1 year of his of the on the chart. Result last year, and then one of the other things that I haven't quite thought too much about yet was when you do this and you generate this report and you filter it off last year, the data for the for basically a year ago is just wrong. You'll see what I'm saying. So I'm gonna say transaction date is greater than or equal to um, result last year. Let's just try this month. I don't know if that's gonna work or not. And then I'm just gonna grab I only want to show the three, 6, 7, 13. Okay. That's not gonna work. Always generate. I don't know if this is required or not. When you're creating action results, you can never tab off the field. You always have to click on the action result, I believe. So, this should give me a nice, beautiful report of count of estimates by CSR by month, maybe. And it has. Yeah, so it's landscape, so we can make this a little bit bigger. And actually, there's a way to just 8.5 by 11, so we could just make this 850 maybe, I guess. That doesn't look right, but what is this? 850 and 1100, and then I'm pretty sure that that's gonna actually make it page break or fail, but let's try it. Yes, my month filter has fixed the issue, it looks like, instead of doing the date. Yeah, we got a page break. So let's make this 10 uh 80 or something, and let's make this 845, and let's center this. Run it one more time, and then I'm going to show you how to put this on the screen on screen load so that it just does the calculation every time you look at the screen. It does generate the report every time you look at the screen too, but unless you're gonna just do it every day in a routine, um, and then know that you're back a day and you don't have data for the current day, which you can do, you have to just generate it every time, especially if you want current data on your 1225 line here. So here we have estimates, and then these are assigned to. So this is the same people that I had read it out in the beginning. This is that. Let's add some titles to this chart before we stick it on the screen. So in the designer here, what we're gonna do is go to titles. We're gonna add 3 titles. We're gonna add a center top chart title. We're gonna add a left title, and we're gonna add a center bottom title. Okay, so this is gonna be um, estimates by CSR by month. And then that's gonna be top center. The font's fine. This is gonna be title 2. On the left side is gonna be count of estimates. And we're gonna make this guy just a bit smaller. And then title 3 is gonna be is it month, month, year, 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 year. And again, Make that a little smaller. Save that. Did that save? Save that. And jump in. So let's talk about how to put this on the screen. It's a little bit roundabout, I'll say. What you have to do is you have to generate the report. You have to generate the report as a PNG. You have to attach it to a record. So I have a table called attachments. I'll probably make another table called attachments. I'm sure there's a logical way to have multiple attachments on the table and run through it and pick the one you need. Right now, I just delete the record, create a new one, add an attachment, call it, put it on the screen. I'll just do it for you quick. So here's that chart. Count, date, sum, going across. I could add more numbers onto here, more assigned twos. You could have everybody kind of see how people ebb and flow. Seven's doing great. 13, meh. Okay, so we see that. So let's go ahead and just jump over to adding this to the screen. So that's what people care about on a dashboard, right? So let me come into here. So just what I'm going to do is add a new table, and I'll call this I'll just call this CSR estimates attachments. Again, I'm sure there's a better way to do this. Um, yeah, I haven't thought logically through what it would look like to um, do this a better way, and I know that there's a better way. So what we're going to do is use that table as basically a holding pattern for this picture, call it, put it on the screen, and then delete it when we call it. So let's, on this function, we're going to delete the records from the table. There's only ever going to be one record in this table. That record's going to hold the attachment of the report. Okay. So CSR estimate attachments. Guys, one thing, you have to be so careful with this delete records from table function. It is so easy to come in here, especially when you're doing something like this, what I'm doing, and just blowing the whole table away. Um, don't do this. This is terrible. Honestly, this is really bad for just the fact that like you can just blow away your estimates um, table or your orders table. Like if anyone's into SQL, this is the equivalent of just blatantly deleting all records from a table, and it's just poor practice. To just be really careful. That's all. So we're going to blow this whole table away. Okay. Then we're going to insert. The reason that I have to do it this way, by the way, is because um, we have this really cool add attachment to record ID function, but we do not have a delete attachments from record ID. If I had a delete attachments from record ID, I wouldn't have to make this table at all or blow the table out of the water every time I needed to do this. But none of this matters. Um, the record on the table is literally just a holding spot for this attachment. Um, so we have a new record after we delete it. And then we're going to grab the record ID. We need the attachment URL. So We have to generate this report. We have to make it a PNG to show on the screen. We're not going to display it anymore because we're just going to save it and then call it, and we're going to store the result in result report. Okay, so then the add attachment to record ID is going to be result report. This doesn't matter. Okay, so this date function has to be above this. We'll just put it up here. Okay. So now we have it. And now we need somewhere on the screen to put this. So let me just add a row to this quick. And then we're going to do text. And if there's a better way to do this, someone let me know. This is estimate by CSR report HTML. With full. That's important. I think that's all you have to do. There might be one other thing that's going to prevent that from working properly, but let's do it. See if we get it. So we've added the attachment to record ID. Now we're going to loop through the attachments of that table. Record ID, right? And then we're going to get the URL. So we're going to do image source with the loop attachment URL and the close. That's it. Result report PNG HTML. And then we're going to update the controls on the screen with this and this. Since there's only one attachment, we know that that's going to work. We've attached it. I think that's all we have to do. I'm going to have to see if that works, and we'll see. So basically, we have this placeholder, we have this button. If I click this button, it should go generate that report, put it on the record ID, replace this with the PNG, and then display on screen. We'll call that on screen load, and then we will make that just show up when the screen loads. I'm missing something. What am I missing? We have this, we have this, we have this, we have that, we have that. I don't think anything else has to be done here. We have the button. The button's going to delete the records from CSSR estimates attachments and then insert a new record. The new record, we just don't need anything but the record ID, and then we'll generate this report as a PNG and save it to result report. And then we will add that attachment to the new record ID, and then we will loop through the attachments, create that, store it here. Could just store it on the screen, but looks like that didn't update properly. Okay, and here we go. Let's try this again. These advanced reports take a while to load. And there it is, it's on screen. So if we wanted to, what we could do too is I can just really quick make a hidden section. By the way, guys, comment your code, best practice, all that good stuff. This is a demo, so I'm just trying to keep this video as short as possible. And on screen focus, let's run button. Yeah, don't use button. Um, don't use result report. Don't use result record ID. Um, yeah, everyone I think is pretty good with best practices and commenting and stuff. Try to keep it that way. All the kind of accounts I've been in that other people have worked on, guys, really good. I won't name names, but very nice commenting and workflow for every account that I've worked on. I think there's been three people's work that I've continued to work on, and I gotta say everyone does a very nice job, even honestly even better than me sometimes, most of the time. So there we go. So it loads on screen. Obviously that takes a while. If you're doing a dashboard, maybe you cache that image, like I said, each day and have it update in a routine overnight, and then it's in that record, and you just call it every day. So much stuff you can do in Method here, guys. That's a quick demo of some advanced reporting you can do. If anyone ever needs any help in the report builder, or you'd like to do this for your business, or you'd like to build a KPI dashboard and you can't figure certain things out, reach out. Our website's in the description. My contact information is on the website. I'm listed on the Method partner portal. Find a partner page. I can link that in the description as well. Again, I'll link the documentation for the DevExpress report builder. Guys, reach out if you ever need anything. Thanks a lot. Have a great holiday because it's the holiday time right now. So, talk soon, everybody. Bye.